Fabrizio? Sí, how are you?
El vuelo atrasado no era de Fabrizio. Dos vuelos atrasados, pero vale la pena. Bueno, la idea de reunirnos acá, hacemos también el saludo pertinente a la gente que nos está mirando a través del fanpage de Rockaxis, ya conectado ahí, por supuesto, y también tenemos la presencia de un también protagonista de la historia, quizás, viéndolo de afuera de la posición de fans, el señor Alfredo Lewin. También un aplauso para él.
Gracias. Encantado, gracias por la invitación, César, y por cierto estar con Fabrizio y con Stephen. Maravilloso, y dando cuenta también de este libro, y que coincidió con lo que armó Fabrizio para poder con Big Sur tener este libro disponible acá, y parte de la historia, que es una historia entrañable y que hace a Stephen un súper protagonista de un cuento que se escribió con James Addiction en 1990, que es irrepetible. Creo que leí la historia de una manera no solamente ágil, fácil de leer, entretenida, sino como no había percibido a James Addiction y todo su fenómeno nunca antes. Así que te felicito, Fabrizio, por el trabajo, and I'm very pleased, just to be with you, Stephen.
Thanks.
Great.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. I just got to town about 2 hours ago, and I was in Lima, Peru last night playing drums. So here I am for you.
Sí, llegamos ambos de diferentes lugares. Yo de Buenos Aires, él de Lima, como decía recién él. Así que bueno, fue una logística de coordinar para llegar a la hora. Y bueno, perdón por la demora, lo que les decía antes, pero bueno, me parece que vale la pena.
Vale la pena, justamente.
Totalmente. Y bueno, muy contento de estar acá y de charlar con ustedes y contar un poco cómo fue el proceso. Gracias por las palabras, gracias por la invitación.
No, ¿de qué?
Encantado.
No, yo ni siquiera he empezado, pero...
Voy a introducir un poquito para que después ustedes charlen y conversen. Yo tuve la oportunidad de conversar con Fabrizio en un artículo que está en la última revista Rockaxis, y ahí él me cuenta que es una idea que nace hace 5 años y hace eco que hace 5 años tú eras muy joven también. ¿Cómo es partir también de crear un libro de 21 años?
21, sí. Hace 5, ahora tengo 26.
Claro.
No, sí, totalmente. Me parece que... Está hablando de eso justamente. Sí, me parece que a ver, surgió en una etapa en la que yo necesitaba hacer algo así. Personalmente, como algo que quería hacer, en el sentido de ponerme un objetivo de algo que podía parecer inalcanzable estando lejos, creo yo, y que quería por lo menos intentar conseguir los testimonios de primera mano de esas personas, como por ejemplo Stephen. I'm saying good things about you. Don't worry.
I believe you, Fabrizio. I believe you.
Y bueno, me interesaba eso, ¿no? Mostrar un poco la historia, que me parece muy rica ya de por sí. O sea, lo que sucede en ese lapso de 1 año y medio, 2 años, que se hace el disco, es sinceramente para hacer una serie completa, con 5 temporadas, si querés. Porque es increíble la cantidad de cosas que pasan. Y en un momento, obviamente no sabía si centrarme en toda la carrera de la banda o hacerlo más bien enfocado en esta época, pero justamente darle toda la preponderancia que se merecía. Entonces eso fue lo que decidí hacer, y la historia es tan genial que solamente tuve que unir un poco las cosas que fueron sucediendo y nada más, digamos. Y obviamente contactar a todos ellos. También llevó 5 años un poco porque cada uno de ellos tiene diferentes agendas. Hay más de 100 horas de entrevistas, no está solamente la banda, sino que también hay un montón de músicos que participaron, productores, managers, y eso llevó tiempo porque cada uno vive en diferentes lugares, y entonces había que hacer como una logística de coordinar las agendas de uno porque estaba de gira, del otro cuando fuera a Argentina, del otro, bueno, así.
El tema de los horarios también.
El tema de los horarios, a las 5 de la mañana, sí, pero bueno, valía la pena y bueno, sí, muy contento, la verdad que estoy muy, muy feliz.
Yo creo que César, podríamos preguntarle a Stephen cómo recuerda en particular, porque este es un libro que está basado en el 1990 y no tiene demasiados desvíos que nos podrían distraer un poco del hito del ritual de lo habitual como álbum, que podría ser la previa al Nothing Shocking, el disco en sí mismo, la separación de la banda, la reunión del Kettle Whistle y luego toda la historia que conocemos de Jane's Addiction posterior. How do you remember, Stephen, the ritual de lo habitual time for you and for the band? Because this book is focused in that period. And I guess that for all the alternative nation, this album is very important. Maybe the most important album of all times. It's the album that opens the 90s.
What I remember is friendship. Coming together as friends and supporting each other and feeling like we could do no wrong. And when you have that kind of support and friendship, anything's possible. We didn't think about music as a record. We thought about Salvador Dali, Picasso, Antonio Gaudi. It's forever. It's different. You cannot put your finger on Picasso. It's always different every time you look. And I think that's what Jane's Addiction wanted to be, is in the moment and ever changing and never repeating. When he says cash in now, in 1987, cashing in now is different than cashing in now in 2019.
Yeah.
So you have to be in the moment, and you have to have the respect of each other and the understanding. If you try hard and fall on your ass, we'll pick you back up because we're friends.
Yeah.
And I think what you hear on that record is 5 years of traveling and conquering and eating and making love and sleeping or not sleeping together. And that's why the record sounds whole and complete and colorful. We were a live band, so the actual recording process with Ronnie Champagne and Dave Jordan, they just put the microphones up and said, you play, turn the lights off. It could have been in concert, but it was in studio. And we had to rely on each other to somehow push each other. If we're here, we get together, we push harder, and go up higher. And that's a respect level. And also the safe zone to try anything in the studio. Could it be a performance or a production or a sound or an arrangement? If you have a poem, it doesn't mean it's verse, chorus, bridge, solo, verse, chorus, out. We don't do that. We read the poem and we interpreted the poem. When I read the lyrics, it wasn't exactly what Perry meant because I thought of it something different. And then Perry said, no, it means this. Oh, okay, now his version, my version, our version. It was a real combination of friendship and also competitive with other musicians and other records. And of course, the help and the love of the Warner Brothers records was real. Warner Brothers said, you go make a record and we'll show the world what Los Angeles sounds like. We'll show the world what Los Angeles feels like. And we're not going to listen to Aerosmith or AC/DC or anybody. We're going to just listen to our heart. And we were very lucky to have Warner Brothers support that. The scene in LA, Los Angeles was, Sunset Strip was over at midnight. Jane's Addiction was downtown LA, started at midnight and went till 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So there was a sense of unity, but also voodoo. What could we make in the dark together? And a lot of the songs were written after midnight. The club called The Scream would let us rehearse at their venue. We only played there twice a month, but we were in the room every night making music. I think the fun of it was listening back and seeing our friends get turned on. And Flea and Mike Watt and Exene and John Doe. And they're tuning in, wondering what's next. And we were happy to explore that with hard rock, psychedelic, folk, metal, punk. And that's one song, you know? Because we don't feel da-da-da-da-da all the time. We wake up, we eat, we think, we fuck, we sleep, we eat. And they put that into the music and make it a heart experience. When we first started Ritual, we were a great live band. And you can hear that on the record. But when you surround yourself with quality producers and recording, the process of recording and using the studio as an instrument, that also is very exciting. And like the song, of course, 25 drum tracks. I was there all night. Doing, doing, bing, 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 bing.
Bringing all kind of instruments on it.
And no one said stop. They said go for it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people like you to stop. And they try to fix it in a computer and make it straight. We weren't straight. We were the peaks and valleys, and also like a hug. You squeeze tight, you let go, you go back in, you kiss on the neck. I think we were very aware of the emotion. The power of Navarro, of course. The power of Eric, yeah. But that's not important. It's the power together. When Dave plays a solo, I'm connected. When Perry says something, I accent. And Eric's bass lines were the perfect highway for me to drive. Most of the music I listened to had a lot of flash. Not Eric. He didn't listen to flashy music. He listened to Bauhaus, Joy Division, Susie, Echo, and the Bunnymen. And there was a sense of mature songwriting with very powerful, intelligent choices. It's about choices. I can play anything, but why? Why try things? You pick one thing and you stick to it, and you practice it. Like one of my favorite moments on the record is Then She Did, because you hear jazz, and not tats, jazz in the sense that we're talking to each other, a conversation, like Elvin Jones and John Coltrane. They listen to each other. And that's what you hear in Jane's Addiction, is a open ear and open heart. The power, ain't no right. There's nothing better for me for punk rock power, except for Bad Brains. And there was the sense that if you can think it and you can dedicate yourself to each other, we can make it happen. And I think the time was just perfect for us to get off the tour and go into a studio. The studio is in North Hollywood, Los Angeles, about 2 miles from my house.
In the valley, right? It was right.
In the valley.
Yeah.
And I was able to go all day with Ronnie Champagne and Dave Jordan and play before the band got there, because I like to play a lot. I'm hyper. I'm an athlete. So I'd be in the studio all day and all night. And that is my king-size bed. I can sleep there if I need to. And I think everyone around us was hoping for something new. And they gave us that lift. They elevated us. And that's why later on Flea was in the band. And Duff McKagan was in the band. And Mike Watt was in Porno for Pyros. And all the people we played around, they wanted to be in the band. Because they saw it was about the heart. They saw that it was about the poem. And also the poem changes every day. You see your favorite friend But tomorrow you're going to say something different to your friend. You have some new experience and something new to laugh about, and a sense of humor. To laugh at each other and to laugh at life, and to not take it too serious. And the earlier Janes, Idiots Rule, Pigs and Zen, 1%, there's a sense of humor. We were having fun. But when we got to Ritual, the fun was there, but it was more focused.
It was on the first side, maybe on the side A of the record. It was like two halves. You got Stop, you got Peacock Stealing,
That's
then
true.
you got to the second half, and
But sequence
quieter.
sequence wasn't part of our discovery. Sequence came later. All the Jane's Addiction records start with "Here We Go." You know that. Same words every record. Here we go. 'Cause it's us. Here we go. It's you. Here we go. Let's go together. And let's fail together. Let's succeed together. Let's laugh. Let's cry together. And I think that unity, you can hear the unity. Also, the exploration of some of the great dub records, Adrian Sherwood producing, and dub music, and using the sounds to make the song lift. And then taking those lifts and making those very important, great moments in the record. We never thought about the chorus or the verse or the bridge. We just thought about the song. What makes the song powerful? And when you listen to Stop, there's no chorus. It's a verse, it's a verse, it's a bridge, it's a guitar solo. Bye. Because that's all we had to say. And No One's Leaving is about tolerance.
Yep.
Stop is about the environment. 3 days. It's about everything. It's about life. And I think understanding what the power of the song was, I'm friends with Motley Crue, and I'm friends with, a lot of the hard rock bands, but they had a formula. They're my buddies. I love those guys. But they had something that was repeating. We never repeated. We said, let's part, and then after we do it, don't do it again. Let's just have a journey. Like when you're on a train or a plane, you look forward, you look out the window, but you can't look back. It's behind you. And there's no reason to go backwards. So we always thought forward. And also, we don't want to be hot shots and progressive rock, but we love Genesis and Yes and Rush because they could play. And we wanted to put that in there, but we love Iggy because he couldn't play. And there was a punk rock attitude. And so how do you mash it up? And I think that was the importance, is to be ultra aware of everything that we feel in a day. Like, I love Metallica, but I cannot feel dun 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 dun, dun all day long. I don't feel that way all day long.
Yeah.
And I feel like in 3 days, there's the moment when it is quite metallic. But it's only for a moment. It's only for a moment. And like we were saying in the car, you can roll a ball down a hill and it goes down. But you roll an egg down a hill, it gets to the bottom, but it's got a hump. It's got movement. It's got feel. It's unpredictable. And I think that's what life is. We wanted to make a reflection of our life. The months of touring and staying out all night and meeting new people and trying new foods and looking at new art and galleries and museums, put that all into the music. Make that just as important as the tone of the Marshall and the Les Paul. And the snare drum and the bass drum is just as important as when and why. A drummer can't the whole time. It's when you don't hit, then that's the rhythm. MC Escher, black duck, white duck, black duck, white duck. It's a pattern. It goes off the page. It still goes. I love the MC Escher painting with the staircases upside down.
Yeah.
That's Jane's Addiction. Is it up? Is it down? Is it sideways? You can turn it any way you want. It's a reflection of our image and our music and the lyrics and our problems. There was real problems in the band, just like in life.
For example?
You know, I mean, just any problem you would have just to get to communicate, just like with your girlfriend or your partner. Sometimes it's smooth, and sometimes you talk at the same time. Stop, hold on, you first, me. You know when you're on the phone and you keep talking over each other? We made sure we never talked over each other. We always listened to each other and give each other space. Now Eric's bass lines are very simple, but not easy to play. And he taught me that's it. Now, what's your drum part? Can you match that bass line with a drum part? Because when I hear that bass line, even though it's nothing shocking, all our songs were written somewhat at the same time. When we signed with Warner Brothers, we spent the whole day with an engineer named Mark Lynette. Mark Lynette recorded all the songs. And we sat with Warner Brothers and said, these songs will be on the first record. Those songs will be on the second record. These songs, you can hear a young band. On those songs, you can hear a mature band. But they were written at the same time. But that's 8-10 months later of touring. And from Salt Lake City to New York City to Seattle to Miami, and taking everybody's piece. When we played Chicago, the Pumpkins opened up. When we play Seattle, Alice opened up. When we play Miami, Suicidal opened up. And we had a team of musicians that wanted to fuck things up. But we had a sense of our duty, I think, was to break that ceiling. And Los Angeles was in repeat mode. The label was signing, Geffen and Capitol and Warner's. They were signing, and making it all cookie cutter. Everything sounded the same. One band, two band, no difference. So there was a chance that Warner Brothers said, we want to show the world the fucked up side of LA. And we won't touch you. You do the art, you do the lyrics, you do the music, and we'll show the world what it's like in LA after midnight. After hours. We were the after hours band. Cool. And during our concerts late night, you could see Flea next to Tommy Lee. You can see Anthony next to the Faster Pussycat. Everyone was together watching Jane's Addiction with a drink. This is what is going on after hours.
That's cool. Fabrizio, parte de lo que escuché de esta enorme respuesta, recuerdo una entrevista con Stephen hace varios años, donde hice una pregunta. Y la entrevista duró media hora. Y así estaba, era el relato de Stephen con respecto a algo que era el tiempo del Great Escape Artist en el periodo de la primera visita de Jane's Addiction a Lollapalooza en Chile. Fabrizio, mucho de lo que escuché, si no todo lo que escuché de Stephen, lo leí en tu libro. Encuentro que eso es un elogio enorme, porque todo está reflejado acá, en la lectura de ese 1990 entre el Nothing Shocking y el Ritual de lo Habitual, una banda que dice, tenemos el repertorio y solamente necesitamos un poco más de lidiar con otras personalidades, conocer más gente para llegar a un resultado como el Ritual de lo Habitual. Pero prácticamente todo lo que escuché de Stephen está acá en el libro y eso es una gran cosa. Yo no lo sabía antes. O sea, ahora siento que estoy mucho más compenetrado con todo lo que dijo Stephen.
Sí, bueno, en parte, gracias primero, pero en parte un poco la idea del libro era también mostrar un poco eso, ¿no? Porque creo que muchas veces se cuenta la historia del rock y pasamos por ahí del glam metal a lo que fue el grunge. Pero la verdad es que hubo un montón de bandas en el medio, como Jane's Addiction, Living Colour y un montón de grupos, Fishbone, la primera etapa de los Chili Peppers. me parece que hay una historia enorme que no se había contado ahí y que en general pasa como desapercibida, es como que se pasa del 88 al 91, ¿viste? Y en el medio hubo un montón de cosas geniales que hicieron que ese 91 fuera posible, ¿no? Tom Morello, por ejemplo, dice que sin Jane's Addiction no hubiera habido Nirvana. Lo dice él. Sí. Entonces me parecía así que era necesario contar esa historia y que era muy rico también, como decía antes al principio de la charla. Y en ese sentido estoy muy contento porque me parece que se pudo por lo menos poner un ladrillito más para intentar llenar ese lugar de contar un poco más lo que había también en esa época.
¿Por qué crees tú que pasa eso que dijiste, que se pasa de una época a otra saltando a estas bandas y a estos hitos como es Ritual de lo Habitual, siendo ya una historia muy rica, ya la música habla por sí sola también? ¿Por qué crees que la historia es como medio ingrata por los excesos, por la historia misma que tiene hartos bemoles?
Te doy mi respuesta y después le preguntamos a Stephen que él va a tener la real. Pero creo yo que muchas de las bandas que luego se agigantan, como por ejemplo Nirvana, el tiempo los pone en ese lugar muchas veces por circunstancias que no tienen que ver necesariamente con la música, ¿no? Creo que el personaje de Kurt Cobain y la leyenda de Kurt Cobain vende mucho, en el buen sentido lo digo, no lo digo como algo negativo ni nada por el estilo. Pero me parece que cuando pasa eso, somos así todos los humanos. Creo que tendemos a mirar para atrás solamente cuando pasa algo de eso. Pasó con Bowie, pasó con Chris Cornell, pasó con Scott Weiland. Digamos, todo lo que pasó ahí es como que uno dice, mirá, tal persona hizo tal cosa, ¿cómo no le presté atención antes, ¿no? Y me parece que, por ejemplo, eso pasó con Nirvana en cierta forma. Con Alice in Chains, con Lane Staley lo mismo. No estoy diciendo para nada que lo musical, tiene que haber algo muy bueno musicalmente para que suceda eso también. Pero creo que muchas veces esas bandas toman esos estatus por circunstancias ajenas a la música, ¿no? Y creo yo que hay un montón, que todas esas bandas que nombramos están totalmente a la altura, o incluso algunas estarán más arriba, depende de la consideración de cada uno, de ejemplos que nombramos. Entonces, creo que la historia es un poco así. En general es un poco así. De hecho, hay un libro de Neil Strauss, un periodista de rock, que se llama Todos te quieren cuando estás muerto. Y Neil Strauss es uno de los que también habla en el libro y habla sobre Jane's Addiction y demás. Y él da un poco esa teoría y también lo cuenta en el libro, ¿no? Que cómo cuando una persona que quizás era de culto fallece o pasa algún escándalo mediático que lo lleva a trascender el mundo de la música, llega, digamos, a un lugar mucho más masivo. Y ahora vamos a preguntarle a Stephen lo mismo.
Yo creo que hay un tema que tiene que ver con que hay ciertas bandas que preparan el entorno perfecto de los 90, que es el entorno que alcanza a Seattle en el año 92, que es el tipo de bandas como Jane's Addiction, viniendo de Los Ángeles, que se relacionan con un sello disquero grande y tienen libertad artística, que es como volver a Led Zeppelin del año 69. Una banda que tiene una sentencia artística y que no quiere lidiar con el sistema, pero tampoco quiere pelear con el sistema, sino que simplemente quiere que Atlantic, Warner, tomen el producto como es, porque ahí hay algo que es de verdad. Y si se fijan, la relación de Jane's Addiction con Warner es muy amigable en el sentido de decir, entréguenme esto y se lo vamos a mostrar al mundo. Y eso es lo que hizo que la mentalidad de la gente que venía de estos sellos independientes, Sub Pop o el que fuera, y pasaron a los sellos grandes, diciendo, pasamos haciendo lo que nosotros queremos, no haciendo concesiones con el sistema. Jane's Addiction funciona como un abre-lata que abre a Los Ángeles, Rollins Band, Tool, Rage Against the Machine, a todas las bandas que vienen después. No todas las bandas que vienen tanto después, sino que venían al año siguiente, que se dieron cuenta que se podían comunicar con los sellos grandes de una manera en donde no hubiera un compromiso artístico. No había que comprometer el contenido por lidiar con una compañía. En ese sentido, Jane's Addiction es, a la altura del segundo disco, una declaración de principios. Y me alegro que en el fondo Warner, esa misma Warner de R&M, cuando firman con una compañía grande, haya apostado por pretensiones artísticas. Y creo que no hay ninguna banda más pretenciosamente artística que Jane's Addiction en el rock. No,
Sí.
ninguna.
Y aparte también, bueno, en las portadas, lo ves en todo el trabajo que hacían y siguen haciendo en todo ese sentido. Y creo que también es música, como Stephen decía, por ejemplo, que no tiene estribillo en muchas canciones, o canciones que son de 10, 11 minutos. Y es muy complicado que eso llegue al mainstream de una y uno pueda absorberlo quizás de una. O sea, por ahí lleva varias escuchas. A mí me pasó cuando escuché por primera vez Jane's Addiction, cuando tenía creo que 12, 13 años, que escuché Ocean Size. Y escuché el tema y me encantó. Y lo volví a escuchar. O sea, cuando lo escuché dije, esto está buenísimo, pero sé que todavía no lo entiendo. Sé que si lo sigo escuchando voy a entenderlo un poco más. Y así se fue quedando en la cabeza, ¿no? Y es música que quizás es un poco más compleja por ahí que las fórmulas típicas. Obviamente que tienen también canciones mucho más normales o más hiteras, si querés. Pero, por ejemplo, hacían singles como 3 Days de 10, 11 minutos. Le hago la pregunta a Stephen. He was asking why do you think that, for example, the media or maybe the history of rock tend to show the history of music, of rock music, passing from glam rock to grunge, and maybe not focusing in the things that were happening in the middle with Jane's Addiction, you know, in the top, but also Fishbone and Living Color, and there's a gap there of 1 year or 2 years that's maybe not really explored in the, you know, the whole history of rock and roll music. Why do you think
Well,
that?
like young people know Green Day, but maybe not Ramones.
Yeah.
You know, it's we are the soil, the fertilizer. They are the flowers. We're the dirt. When you look at the flower, you step on the dirt, but it takes fertile dirt to grow the flower. We're the fertile dirt. We're the manure. We're the shit. We are the shit.
Somos la
But
tierra,
after-
el fertilizante, la mierda misma que hace que ahí pueda florecer algo que ya sabemos que fue.
What the influence of Jane's Addiction to me is not a sound. It's a brave new world. Jimmy Chamberlain from the Smashing Pumpkins, Tim from Primus, Matt from Soundgarden, the drummers, of course. But it gave us a chance to open the door for other people. And it wasn't about getting the pat on the back or the paycheck. It's about changing things. And the 4 members in Jane's didn't belong together. We have different record collections, different friends. We dress different. And there was a unity in that, but also it was confusing for people. What is it? It isn't it. It's changing. And I love the fact that the music still sounds new. It doesn't sound like 1987, 88, 89. It sounds just like a great Jimi Hendrix song. When was it recorded? It doesn't matter. Are you experienced? 69, 79, 89, who knows? It's a sound, it's a feeling, it's a story. And I think Jane's Addiction had opened the door for people to say, I quit my job. I want to be an artist. I can make art. They do it. We gave a window for musicians and artists to jump through and jump out the window. And Jane's Addiction made the music to stir the pot, not to make it. And once we made it, we broke up. We're done. We did our job. Now let's do Porno for Pyros.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
And then you break.
And then you break up. And Mike Watts said to me, the most punk rock thing is porno, because everything was grunge, and we wrote songs with acoustic guitars and a bongo at a campfire, Bali Eyes, and Tahitian Moon, 100 Ways. That was punk rock. It didn't sound like punk rock, but the attitude is punk rock. And I think the power of Jane's Addiction was to let other people get on the train.
To pave the way.
We had to be the dirt and the soil for the flower to grow. And I'm okay with that. I love the fact that the influence is deep and not just pow, gone. The influence for Tom and Billy and Kurt and Fu and Dave was deep. It's real. And they think, how do you break ground? You have to be brave. And that sometimes does not get noticed, and that's okay as well, because we sold 1 million records to 1 million artists, not 10 million records to 10 million people. We sold it to musicians and artists and thinkers. And that's what LA was. There was businessmen and movie makers and musicians and poets and fashionistas and stylists, and that was what we were scrambling in the blender, blend it. And I think that's the most important thing we could have done, is not stay together and go into repeat mode. We did our job. We wrote the songs, we played them over and over, and that's all you should do. And when 97 came and Flea was in the band, it was new, because Flea is new. And we had a reason. But that tour, the Relapse tour, was 25 shows. That's all we could do. That was enough to do it again. But when I think about the seeds we planted in Seattle, in Chicago, in New York, in London, in Chile, those seeds keep growing. And it's the influence of the attitude, not just the song. The song is romance. But just like your romance with your girlfriend, the first year, very romantic, then you're friends. And that's what the band now, me and Dave and Eric and Perry, and Flea, and all the other bass players, we're friends. And we can go back and listen. Tom Morello had a band called Lockup. Lockup opened up for Jane's Addiction. And then came Rage. You know, when the Pumpkins opened for Jane's Addiction, they didn't sound like the Pumpkins. After Jane's Addiction played, then came Gish. It was the opportunity for them to say, anything's possible. And if you play with your heart and great players, you will affect the artist. When Jackson Pollock, the day before Jackson Pollock threw paint, he was painting like every other painter. What made him say, fuck, he threw the paint? People said, you're crazy, that's not art. Now we can't afford a Jackson Pollock in our house. It's not going to happen. You had to get pushed to the point where enough is enough. And Los Angeles was overdone. The same thing over and over. And X and Minutemen and Chili Peppers and all the great bands, they hit the ceiling. And I say Jane's Addiction broke that ceiling and said, you can go further. With the power of the live concert, and Perry in the moment with the people, and me reacting to Perry, that is like the Doors. And Jim says something, John Densmore hits a cymbal. It's the exclamation point. It's the slamming of the hand. That's what we wanted to do. We didn't want to get put on the the list of all the other bands, because then you're in the box, and there's a ceiling there. We stood on top of the box. And I think the best part of Jane's Addiction is the recording has attitude. It's not boring. It's dangerous. It's not safe. It's not right. There's no click track. It speeds up. It slows down. It's natural. It's real. It's like being in bed with your partner. You don't go fast all night. You can't. It's not fun. You maneuver and you caress. And I think Jane's Addiction was super aware, ultra aware of the moment. And even on stage, every night is different. So when we recorded 3 days that night, one take, that's what you hear on the record. But if we recorded it again the next night, it would have been different. Longer, shorter, faster, slower. Who knows? It would have been in the moment. And I think that was the influence to give other musicians and artists the chance to live in the moment, not think about the future, be there, and understand that music, it goes away. It's gone. But it's also sound waves. They don't stop. They're going to Mars. You know, it's a movement of air.
Like the ocean.
It's
size.
the ocean size. And we do want to be as deep as the ocean. But we're also people, and we're shallow. And we care about what people think. And then you say, fuck, who cares what people think? You do it your own way. And my idea as a drummer was to take the music away and still have a musical drum part. A drum part that was a song. And if you take the drums away and just have bass, it's a song. You take everything away but guitar, it's a song. Every musician was writing their own song within the song. And that kind of energy can't be sustained for so long. It fatigues. So we didn't want to go on tour fatiguing. We didn't want to be boring on tour. We wanted to be real. And when you think about Thank You Boys, da, 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 it's a jazz song. Me and Dave used to play jazz in our band before Jane's Addiction.
Disaster.
Yeah, we little disaster. And I think the great band member supports the other band member. The great band member says, go for it. And if you fall, it still might be perfect. Because what's perfect? Art is not perfect. Life is not perfect. And the way I feel today is different than then. But when I hear 3, 4, no matter what's happening in the friendship, we join forces. And I always wanted to send people home to make love, not war. I don't want people to leave the concert kicking and scratching. I want them to leave the concert dancing. We used to play a song by Sly Stone with Ice-T. And Perry and Ice would dance together. The unity of black and white goes brown. And I think we had to mix colors to make a real original band, a sensitive band. And sometimes that gets unnoticed. It wasn't obvious. It wasn't obvious.
No pun intended. Yeah.
Now, Obvious is the one song that came out of a jam session. Most of the songs we wrote, Obvious happened. You can hear it. It's a different type of song. And that's what I also love about the band, is listening to the music is a postcard from my life. I'll be 52 in 10 days. But when I wrote these songs, I was 18. But I still feel 18 because the music keeps me young. And the lyrics are still relevant. The environment, tolerance, love, hate, romance, it's still real. It's right. It's before Jane's Addiction, you heard cars and girls and cars and girls. And no, that's not what we were. And I think the power of the band is that we were broken people. We were definitely all broken. And together we fixed each other. And once we were fixed, then we break up. And then we're broken.
Este libro, de hecho, se va a encontrar hablando con la gente de Big Sur. En muchas librerías está disponible, tiene un precio sugerido de 13.000 pesos. Creo que acá se están vendiendo unas copias a 10.000. Me llamaba la atención este arte, porque en el fondo es una banda en una montaña rusa, perseguida también por una suerte de policía o algo así. Me pregunto qué dice Stephen de esta idea de like you guys riding in a roller coaster. It's just like a good image of like what was Jane's Addiction all about.
Absolutely. Me and Perry shared a room. Dave and Eric shared a room. And we had separate experiences as duets. Me and Perry spent a lot of time together after the concert, walking the streets of every city. And Dave and Eric had their time together, separate of me and Perry. And that's why me and Perry ended up with Porno, and Dave and Eric ended up with Deconstruction. There was a different thought about how to present the music, and it was obvious as we came to an end where we were headed. But the roller coaster, I never felt like we were going. We were always going. We're down.
Okay, yeah.
Never waiting, always flying. And the best times are on stage. The best times are in the studio. The best times are talking about the set list for tonight. And those times are the roller coaster of not just us four, but you and you and you and you, all of us on the roller coaster. That's what made the music powerful to me. The song Kettle Whistle, the song Slow Divers, City Song, some of the songs that don't raise to the top are just as important as Mountain Song and Hadadad, Stop. They were all the same importance to us. They all had something, even Maceo, a song about a cat. Just as important to me as No One's Leaving. Every moment really counted. And as soon as we didn't believe in each other, it was over. But what you hear and see is belief in each other. And a love affair, a real love affair. My first girlfriend ever, Eric's younger sister.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric's
Rebecca,
family.
right?
Yes, that whole family is very important to me. My love and my bass player. Perry is born on the same day as my wife. They share birthdays. My two partners, the same birthday.
Wow. There's something strange there.
Very strange. So it's something in the stars. There is a romance and a love affair. And I think that is the roller coaster, like any relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, but it's there, it's real, and you care for each other. When I think about before Jane's Addiction, it's black and white. After Jane's Addiction, multicolor.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there you go. But there's a point when you want to be the best band in the world. That's real feeling that you want to show everyone from here to Germany to Australia to Chile. We are the best, top of the pyramid. But top rock changes. The Beatles, Hendrix. Before the Beatles, you had Elvis. The rock changes. And the Rage. You know, the Foos. The pyramid is all the musicians building all these rocks. And it's okay for me to be at the top rock and then middle rock and back to the top and bottom rock. I just want to be in the pyramid. The creative pyramid of art. And like the Jackson Pollock or the MC Escher, no one is like that. There's only one MC Escher. There's only one Jackson Pollock. There's only one Jane's Addiction. And that is the sexy part of Jane's Addiction. That is the hard run. That's the boof, you know. And I think once it went soft, we're done.
Bueno, creo que deben haber pocas bandas que tienen esa consistencia artística que Jane's Addiction y que fue bastante notorio, sobre todo para quienes los vimos por primera vez en el Lollapalooza. La verdad yo lo había visto en otras ocasiones, de hecho fui a 2 conciertos de la gira del Relapse, en el Kettle Whistle en ese tiempo, y esa fue mi primera impresión de como un latinoamericano de ver a Jane's Addiction. I was just telling the people that I saw a couple of shows in the Relapse tour back then in 1997. And the funny thing is that I interview you guys, but I interview Dave Navarro and Flea. So for me it was very weird because it was in front of Red Hot Chili Peppers at the same time. I said, no sé si estoy entrevistando a Porno for Pyros o a Red Hot Chili Peppers porque estaban Dave Navarro y Flea. Sin embargo, estaba entrevistando a Porno for Pyros, que no se me olvidara. Era eso, no era lo otro. Entonces estaba Stephen y estaba Perry, estaban como separados. And I just wanted to interview you and Perry because I was like with Dave and Flea. But they were so kind because they actually talk about the magic that it felt like doing this Relapse tour and lo que vino después del Kettle Whistle. Pero cuando en Chile vimos el 2011 a Jane's Addiction, vimos un poco de ese glamour, que es un glamour muy artístico, pero que es muy sexy también. Es todo como muy pasado de revoluciones. Es Jane's Addiction. Y me alegro que hayamos tenido un par de chances. We just like saw you 2 times in Chile. Back then in 2011 and 2013. ¿Sí? 2011, 2013. So we saw the magic. And I was just telling the people that it's very hard to find such consistency in this artistic sentence like Jane's Addiction meant. It's very hard. Like you were a part of the chain, but so important. I mean, there were no bands like Jane's Addiction in the 90s, and I think you are like part of rock history. I mean, it's like.
Let me tell you what happened at the end of '96. The guitar player for Porno, Pete DiStefano, got testicular cancer.
Yeah, I remember.
So Navarro said, "I'll help out," and Mike Watt was busy making a record. Ball Hog and Tugboat.
And that's the reason Flea got on board.
And so Flea said, I'll help out. And they took a break from the Chili Peppers to make Jane's Addiction alive again. But it was Porno for Pyros that needed help, not Jane's. And after Porno played with Flea and Dave, fuck this, let's do Jane's Addiction. Let's go back and play the songs that are in the closet, waiting, hanging on a hanger. Please wear me, put me on and take me out. And me and Flea played for 5 weeks together before Dave showed up. Flea said, I want to make a rhythm section like you and Eric.
Claro, justamente, en ese show, o en esa gira.
My son is learning Jane Says right now. That's the song. My son is learning that on guitar.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy. He's 9.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Now I got a new guitar player.
Yeah.
But there was a love affair for me and Flea. He didn't play with a pick. He wrote, all the songs in Jane's Addiction is a pick. Flea plays with his fingers, but he said, I want to play with my fingers, but I want Jane's Addiction to have a new rhythm section. I want to be part of that. So we played for a month up at his house before Dave showed up. And we had a rhythm section that was solid. And Flea called me in the middle of the night. Hold on, does it go like this? Or like this? Or like this? Flea loved the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But after Ritual and we broke up, I put everything to sleep. Flea woke me up again for those songs. And then after Relapse, Dave quit Chili Peppers.
Yep.
That was it. So Porno and Chili Peppers and Jane's, it was a big mashup.
Yeah.
But also it was a big explosion. And there was a lot of dedication to each other for 97. And the show for Halloween, that was a night to remember. That was a real Jane's Addiction. It felt like we were in Hollywood at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It felt real again. But the power of the band on stage is, I don't know how to say it. It's magic. It's a voodoo ritual. You can't do it every night. You just can't. So it was a real relapse, but a real remake of why. Why did Jackson Pollock throw the paint? Why did Jane's Addiction do that? We had to. We could not do it. We needed to do it. And I think that is what you see and hear on stage. If you see the Rolling Stones, like them or not, that's the Rolling Stones. That's Mick. That's Keith. That's Charlie. You got Woody, of course. But I think the true band, no matter who's on bass, is a connection to the lyric and the people in the room with us, or the field, or the football stadium. I love the big concert when you see people bungee jumping and Ferris wheel a mile away, and I'm playing and they can hear me. But I also love the small club when I can see your eyes and give it to you right there. The power. I got you. You and me. And that's something that you don't get in the big concert. But we try to bring that solid confirmation of you and I are together, big or small. Jane's Addiction can bring people together. And that's, I think, what you're feeling and seeing. And I feel it and see it.
Yeah.
I get emotional. I sing along. I feel my brother who died. When I play the music, he's there. He's always there. But when I play the music, he is there. Because the music makes me feel sensitive, vulnerable. The Jane's Addiction makes people feel vulnerable. And I think Classic Girl, next to Ain't No Right, next to Summertime, next to Trip Away, next to Chip Away, it's all the same. They sound different, but it's the same feeling. We are fucked up in the head, but we belong together as people, the human race. No matter what color, how tall or small, we love to feel good about each other and feel good about music. And when you smell something or taste something or hear something, it makes you feel good or bad. But I think that's the power of good music, is no matter what time of day or night or what year it is, the song remains the same.
Great. César, tienen una sorpresa, no sé si la querías como introducir ahora.
¿Hay otro vuelo atrasado? No. Queríamos darle la oportunidad de preguntarles, pero tenemos una sorpresa y como el tiempo apremia, tiene que ver con...
Por algo trajo las baquetas.
Trajo parte de su hábitat natural. Nosotros tenemos preparada la sala 1 de nuestro Casa Estudio para que Stephen pueda tocar algo, así que si quieren le damos paso a eso en vez de las preguntas, ¿no?
You gonna play something for us?
You got it. Yeah, okay.
Eso.
Okay.
Bueno, después de eso hay un minuto de honor también y bueno, para la gente que tenga el libro, para los que quieran comprarlo en este precio de oferta, también va a estar Fabrizio para que también los pueda firmar. Así que ahora nos vamos a la sala 1 de nuestra Casa Estudio.